Shalom. All praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David the elect, the 144,000 men that are toiling in this word, never lifting their hand off that plow, in sincerity and truth. And 1/3 the men, women, and children that are listening and learning in all humility and sincerity. To you I say Shalom. All right, so I think I'm going to title this video where Esau got the interrogation room, or where does the interrogation tactics come from. I wanted to do this because everything that we know about this society and Esau has in this society, he takes it from the scriptures and he twists it, and so this is how you know who the true devil is, man. He manipulates everything, man. He manipulates everything to use it for his wicked devices and his wicked purposes. But I'm going to go ahead and get this story and show where the interrogation tactics come from. And I have a couple of other scriptures to back up. So I'm going to read this story. It's in the history of Susanna. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to skip around to a few verses so we can truly get the understanding of what's taking place and where these interrogation tactics come from. Okay, so this is the history of Susanna. It's one chapter long, so but it has 64 verses. So I'm just going to read maybe about 10 of the verses. Like I said, I'm going to jump around. So I'm going to read this verse 2. It says, "And he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Chelcias, a very fair woman, and one that feared the Lord. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses." All right. So, Susanna was a beautiful woman. To be a fair woman is beautiful. She was very beautiful and she feared Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And her parents raised her according to the law of Moses, doing the law, and that's how. Obviously, this woman was still in the flesh, but this is how our daughters are going to be raised in the kingdom, following the law of Moses, because now in the civilization that we live in, these women aren't following the law of Moses. They're following the law of Esau. And so a lot of wickedness is taking place within Israel, but nonetheless, and see, this is why we have like movements going on like Me Too, and these women got these independent women and feminism, is because they don't fear the Lord. Okay. And they don't they don't have righteous parents. So the parents is not teaching them the right way to go. It says, "Teach up a child in the way he should go, and they shall not depart from it." And so Susanna did just so. Okay. So now I'm going to jump over to verse 7. It says, "Now when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk." All right. It says, "And the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her." And the scriptures say, he that look at the woman with lust, he had automatically committed adultery in his eyes, in his heart. So, this woman had a husband and they're still lusting after her, drooling after her, and they inflamed, they burning up to try to get this woman, man. And these elders, these are not the elders that are leading Israel today. These are them wicked niggas like pastors in the church, or wicked Pharisees and Sadducees looking at the women of the congregation and know they got men. That's these elders that were right here. These weren't righteous men. Okay. It says, "And they perverted their own mind and made Salakia. They perverted their own mind and turned away their eyes, that they might look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments." All right. So they turned away their eyes. They don't want to look and pray. They don't want to look to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to find the answers and pray that he take that lustful, adulterous spirit off of them. They're not looking for that. They don't want, they're not looking for judgments. They're not looking for that, man. They're looking to do their own filthiness. It says, "And albeit they both were wounded with her love, yet durst not one show another his grief." All right. So they both probably thinking the same thing, but they don't want to expound on it. It says, "For they were ashamed to declare their lust, that they desired to have to do with her. Yet they watched diligently from day to day to see her." So every day in, day out, they watching this lady. And see, not to change the idea of this story, but me and the brothers were just talking about this at camp. We say, women always walk around, with the police protection right now. But when Jacob's trouble get loose, what do you think is going to happen to women like that? And not Susanna necessarily, but women in the world. It's men watching you every single day, waiting to so-called rape you or waiting to take hold of you. You know what I'm saying? They watch you come and go and leave in your house. They watch you come and go and leave from your job. You know what I'm saying? And so they waiting for an opportunity. We're like, oh, it's going to be lawlessness. The first thing they're going to do is come straight for your ass, man. And this is why you got to be a righteous woman who fears the Lord, man. Because when lawlessness takes place, it's not going to be nobody there to protect you if you don't have the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay? But going on, it says, yet they watched diligently from day to see her. And the one said to the other, let us now go home, for it is dinner time. So when they were gone out, they parted the one from another, and turning back again, they came to the same place. And after that, they had asked one another the cause. They acknowledged their lust, then appointed they a time both together when they might find her alone. So now these niggas was in their own minds, in their own hearts. They like, man, like this, she bad, man. I want her, man. I can't wait to get her. So they both thought they was fooling each other. Like, all right, bro, I'm about to go get some dinner. I'm about to go eat. And what they do, they both came back to the same place and saw, man, like, hey, man, I've been watching this chick from afar, man. I've been keeping my eye on Susanna. They both saying this to each other, man. I want her so bad. So now they on one accord in wickedness. All right. Then it says, and it fell out as they watched a fit time. She went in as before with two maids only, and she was desirous to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot. And there was nobody there save the two others that hid themselves and watched her. So she probably going outside to bathe. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? They probably didn't have showers back then. If it's hot in the crib, they ain't had AC. So she about to go in the garden. It's a little bit cooler and bathe herself. It says there was nobody there save the two others that hid themselves and watched her. Then she said to her maids, bring me oil and washing balls and shut the garden doors that I may wash me. So she's thinking she's by herself. She's like, shut the garden door. She's trying to think she's got some privacy, So she's clearly not trying to show herself to other people, because a harlot would have been like, hey, don't worry about the door. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? She like, shut the doors so that I can wash myself so nobody won't see me. And that's how a righteous woman's supposed to be. You got women nowadays got glass windows and shit, taking showers and leaving the damn glass doors and leaving the door unlocked, leaving the windows open. With that harlot nature, want men to be spying across the street with binoculars and shit, looking in. What's that movie? Horrible Bosses. The woman Jennifer Aniston played a harlot doctor, a harlot dentist on there, and she in our house doing all kinds of freaky shit with the blinds open, basically. And then, the dude, she knows the dude's across the street watching. She ends up opening the door. So then he caught the signal and went in the house and he smashed her. So this is the opposite of the woman that Susanna was. Okay. It says, and this is how our women are supposed to be, righteous, fearing the Lord, closing the doors, wearing modest apparel. This is how you're pleasing in the sight of the Lord. And this is how you get delivered. Okay. It says, as they did as she bade them, and shut the garden doors, and went out themselves at privy doors to fetch the things that she had commanded them. But they saw not the elders, because they were hid. So they grabbed all the stuff that she wanted, the washing balls, the oil, and got her stuff. And they ain't see the elders because they were like hiding and shit, right? It says, now when the maids were gone forth, the two elders rose up and ran unto her, saying, behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us and lie with us. So now they trying to run a train on her. You know what I'm saying? They trying to two-way her. They know she got a husband. They know she ain't about that life, but they lust is burning in them, man. They adulterers, man. Okay? And it says, and the Lord will kill you for this. The Lord will kill you for adultery. And the Lord will even kill you for, you grabbing your boy and having sex with a woman. They did like a threefold abomination, man. They lusted in their hearts. They trying to have a train or a threesome, There's a difference between a train and a threesome, throwing that out there. But they tried to run a train on her, And then they commit adultery. They try to commit literal adultery, It says, If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou sentest away thy maids from thee. So they about to lie on her. They're like, hey, if you don't go, they try to blackmail her. If you ain't gonna lay with us, hey, we gonna say that you was with a young dude and you sent the maids away so you can have sex with him. They like, we gonna lie on you. Okay. And see, this is why they're being slick, because I got this for another reason, but it's a good point to bring out now. See, they thought they were using, and this is what Israel used to do. They were using the law for their own wickedness instead of using the law righteously. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 17:6. It says, at the mouth, actually, let me see, maybe I might start up. I'll start up at 5. It says, then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which hath committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die. So this is talking about false gods, if I'm not mistaken. But it still can be used for, in the terms of understanding, can be used for adultery. You can be stoned to death for committed adultery. At verse 6, at the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy to be put of death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. So they were on one accord now, because they using the law. They like, hey, we gonna say that we saw you doing it. So at the mouth of 2 witnesses, they can get her put to death. So that's why it's blackmail. They're like, we know how we can finesse you, because we both said we saw you, and that's how they can get her to put to death if she don't have sex with them. Okay. And let me get Matthew 19:15 real quick. It says, 1 witness shall not rise up against any man for any iniquity or for any sin, and any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses shall the matter be established. So that they trying to finesse the law, bro. You can't be like that, man. That's wicked, and the Lord will destroy you for that. But going on, I know I said I was going to get 10 verses, but it's such a good story. It says, and I'm going to get to the point of the interrogation, so just bear with me, Akim. It says, then Susanna, going back to the history of Susanna, verse 22, then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side, for if I do this thing, it is death unto me, and if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands. So you see, she like, if I do this thing, I'm going to die. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord going to kill me for committing adultery. And if I do not, I can not escape your hands, meaning y'all got me in a trick bag. You're blackmailing me. So I'm caught up. I'm straightened on every side. Y'all got me every which way. It says, it is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord. You see that? That's the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's the spirit you are supposed to be in as a man. And that's the spirit that a woman is supposed to be in. It says, she said, it is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord. Okay. She like, hey, I'd rather not do this thing. And hey, y'all go ahead and say what you going to say than to go ahead and commit adultery in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right. Because he's going to know what I did. So basically she didn't sell her soul, man. She didn't. She's like, hey, let the Lord. The Lord gonna deal with it. She said, with that, Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the 2 elders cried out against her. Then ran the one and opened the garden door. So when the servants of the house heard the cry in the garden, they rushed in at the privy door to see what was done unto her. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna. So these elders, they like, hey, we got her. We saw her. She yelling. We yelling, And so the servants are ashamed, because they like, hey, Susanna's a righteous woman. She feared the Lord. So ain't nobody ever said nothing like this about her. Talking about she cheating and committing adultery. It says, and it came to pass the next day when the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, the 2 elders came also full of mischievous imagination against Susanna to put her to death. All right, so they just start talking all kinds of stuff, man. Trying to get her put to death. Okay. Let me see. Now I think I can jump down. I'm going to jump down to verse 35. It says, and when she weeping, looking up toward heaven, for her heart trusted in the Lord. And the elder said, as we walked in the garden alone, this woman came in with 2 maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away. Then the young man who there was hid came unto her and lay with her. Then we that stood in the corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness, ran unto them. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leaped out. But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but would not tell us. These things do we testify. All right. Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and the judges of the people, so they condemned her to death. All right, because she gonna get put to death for committing adultery. Okay, and that's how you know we living in a wicked time, because it'll be a lot of dead women out here, because all these women out here committing adultery. Okay, then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, "O everlasting power, that knowest the secrets and knowest all things before they be." So she praying to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Hey, you've seen the truth, Lord. She said, "Thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such things as these men have maliciously invented against me." Okay, so I had the clip in the beginning of the Central Park 5, and I'm not sure if you brothers have seen that video, that movie. It's on Netflix. It's called When They See Us. Okay, and so it's about 5 young men who get charged of rape, allegedly charged of rape. And I'm just going to go ahead. This is a spoiler. If you don't want to hear it, then go ahead and turn the video off and go ahead and watch it. But they get charged guilty, and they all were subject to jail and prison. And basically, at the end of the movie, it turned out that they didn't do anything wrong. Okay. And so, Esau uses his tactics to incriminate his malicious inventions. They use those to falsely accuse things against our people. Okay. And it says, "And the Lord heard her voice. Therefore, when she was led up to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel." Okay, so hey, that's what's happening spiritually now, man. They put wicked inventions against our people, and the Lord is raising up young youth, man. We raising up as babes, to prophesy truth into the earth, because the Lord is beholding all the wickedness upon the earth. Okay, and this is Daniel, as in the scriptures. This is when he was young. This is how Daniel got his name. Okay. So this is the interrogation part is coming in too soon, but in a couple verses, it says, "Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman," because the Lord said he raised up the Holy Spirit. So Daniel was filled with the Holy Spirit at this point. All right. And it says, "Then all the people turned toward him and said, What mean these words that thou hast spoken? So he, standing in the midst of them, said, Are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth, you have condemned the daughter of Israel?" So are you just going to believe these niggas? Are you just going to believe these men without examining the matter, without finding the man that she had sex with? That was the same in the scriptures when the Lord said, if ye be without sin, cast ye the first stone, because you didn't have the man there present to say that she was even doing it. Where is the man? Where is the proof that she was having sex with this dude? They try to say he was too strong and he got away. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay. And so going on, it says, "Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her." So Daniel knew the truth now. The Lord is filling him up. He like, they have borne a false witness, man. All right. "Wherefore the people turned again in haste. And the elder said unto him, Come sit down among us and show it us, seeing the Most High Yahweh hath given thee the honor of an elder. Then said Daniel unto them, Put these two aside, one far from another." Here goes the interrogation. And this is where Esau gets it from. Okay. "Then said Daniel unto them, Put these two aside, one far from another, and I will examine them." Okay. So that's what happening when they see us. Okay, that's where they get that from. Hey, put all of these little niggas in different rooms, and we're going to examine them, and we're going to ask them different questions. See, the difference between Daniel and Esau, Daniel was doing this for truth's sake, to expose wickedness. Okay, Esau does this for wickedness' sake, to create lies. See how it's the exact opposite, Let me get Job real quick. Esau does the exact opposite. Let me see. Where is that verse at? Esau, man, he's a devil. He does the opposite of what the Lord set up for this thing to be. How can I forget that verse? Salakia. It'll come back to me, but here it goes. The spirit. Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. See that the forgers of lies, the Edomites are creators of lies, the so-called white people against the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics. They are the forgers of lies, physicians of no value. All right. All they do is create lies, man. Create mischievous inventions. Hey, our people do this shit too. Obviously, these were Jakes, man. They were creating these were Israelites being wicked, and that's how the 2/3 of our people are. They after their father, the devil, man. They take on the attributes of Esau. Okay, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. John 8:44. Ye of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh the lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. All right? Esau's the father of lies, man, and our people follow after their father. Our people follow after Esau, and they create lies and do this kind of wickedness. And it says he was a murderer and abode not in the truth, man. The lust of your father you will do. A lust of your father is adultery, man. They were following after Esau. He said he speaketh his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. All right. So Susanna was telling the truth, man. Yahushua is telling the truth, just as right now the men of the Lord are telling the truth about the wickedness in the earth. But because we're telling the truth, they believe us not. Only the elect are going to believe the truth. Okay, so going back to history of Susanna, verse 51. Then said Daniel unto them, put these two one aside far from another, and I will examine them. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxen old in wickedness, now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime are come to light. You see that, man? Hey, Daniel got their ass in the trick bag, man. He's like, hey, you wicked devil. And that's how we tell the Edomites and 2/3 of our people. Hey, now all your wickedness has come to light, because through the scriptures, we're able to tell these people what they're doing wrong, and we're able to tell their wickedness. Okay, this is Luke 12:2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. All right, so all of the things in wickedness is going to come to the light, man. The Lord is not covered that ain't going to come up. So, hey, Daniel, like, hey, you exposed. I know who you are, man. And that's how the scriptures say we know people through the word is, we can tell the intentions of your hearts, man. Hebrews 4:12, roughly paraphrasing. We know the wicked devices that y'all doing, man. We notice the wickedness of you people. All right. History of Zena, verse 53. It says, for thou hast pronounced false judgment and hast condemned the innocent and has let the guilty go free. Albeit the Lord said, the innocent and the righteous shall thou not slay. So he's like, hey, Susanna ain't gonna get no judgment because she did righteously. Now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under what tree sawest thou when thou accompanying together? Who answered, under a mastic tree. So he answered one of the dudes. He's like, hey, also, under what tree did you see her? He's like, under what tree was she having sex? Under the mastic tree. And Daniel said, very well, thou hast lied against thine own head. For even now the angel of the Most High received the sentence of God to cut thee in two. So he put him aside and commanded to bring the other, and said unto him, O thou seed of Canaan, and not of Judah, beauty have deceived thee, and lust have perverted thine heart. Thus have ye dealt with the daughters of Israel, and they for fear company with you. But the daughter of Judah would not abide your wickedness. Now therefore, tell me, under what tree didst thou take them company together? Who answered, under a home tree. Whoo-hoo! Daniel, that was wisdom, baby. So now that's how Esau does when he's in the courthouse. He'll take you, he'll put you in two rooms. He'll ask you a question. You'll say one thing and your boy will say another thing. So now he's like, all right, somebody's lying. There's some lying going on, but what Esau does is Esau will create a lie, like the video he said, hey man, see this, do you know this kid right here? Like, I don't know this kid, but he said, look at the cut under his eye. He said he was raping the woman. So then what he do? He said he lied on him. He said, yeah, Kevin did it just so he can go free. So Salakia, Daniel did this to find out truth. Daniel did this to find out understanding, but Esau will create his own truth. Esau will create a lie because that's what Edomites want. That's what the courthouse want. That's what the news wants. They want to just see these dudes locked up because this oh so poor Edomite woman got beat up in the forest, in the woods. What was your dumb ass out running at 10 o'clock at night for in the first place? Not saying that, hey, but all of this was judgment. Let me get that out the door. I meant to say that earlier. That movie, When They See Us, of course, Esau was wicked, and it's Zechariah 11:5. It says they our oppressors slay us and hold themselves not guilty. When really they slay us, they kill us, they don't hold themselves guilty, and these men didn't commit that crime. But ultimately, that was judgment from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for something that they'd done in their past life. So they were guilty regardless. But for that crime, they were not guilty. But Esau, he don't care about that, man. Esau like, hey, we're going to get your ass done up. And that woman who got raped and slayed and beat up, that was a judgment done to her by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Okay? So going back to history of Zena, verse 59, then said Daniel unto him, well, thou hast also lied against thine own head. So they lying on themselves. Y'all done told on each other. For the angel of God waiteth with the sword to cut thee in two. So he's like, hey, it's a death angel ready to cut you niggas in half, man. Ready to judge y'all for y'all wickedness, that he may destroy you. With all that the assembly cried out with a loud voice and praised Yahweh, who saveth them that trust in him. And they arose against the two elders, for Daniel had convicted them of false witness by their own mouth. And according to the law of Moses, they did unto them in such a sort as they maliciously intended to do to their neighbor, and they put them to death. Thus the innocent blood was saved the same day. You see that? So they got put to death because they wanted to put Susanna to death, man. And they lied on her, man. Okay? They lied on her. Let me get a second Corinthians. They're using the law because that's in the Old Testament and the New Testament. The two witnesses, man. 2 Corinthians 13:1. It says, this is the third time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. Okay? So they're using the law to be wicked, man. But the Lord uprooted that. The Lord used Daniel, man. The Lord is using us to uproot the lies in this place. Okay? It says, verse 63, therefore Chelcias and his wife praised the Most High for their daughter Susanna, with Joachim her husband, and all the kindred, because there was no dishonesty found in her. From that day forth was Daniel had in the great reputation for Salakia. From that day forth was Daniel had in great reputation in the sight of the people. You see that? So Daniel, that's how he earned his good report. That's how he earned his name. Okay? Showing his wisdom from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And Daniel showed great wisdom unto the king in the time of Babylon. Daniel showed great wisdom, man. Interpreting dreams, all of those things, man. Prophesying. And these are the things that we're trying to hold a great reputation in the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua amongst the 1/3. Not for our sake, but for Yahweh's sake, man. But we're showing them the way to righteousness. We're showing them wisdom. But Esau uses this interrogation room to lock up our people, man. And who he's getting in there? He's getting Jake in there. He's not using this interrogation room when you got some Edomites going in. We're going to talk to his lawyer and we're going to get his ass up out of here, man. Pay them lawyer fees. But these dudes were underage. They didn't have their parents. None of that kind of stuff. But they use that so they can create lies, record them, and use it for wickedness. Esau manipulates and taints everything he touches. The Lord created interrogation to find out righteousness. They use it to find out wickedness. This is Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. You see that? So when you go to jail, people ain't saying, hey, yo, let all them criminals go. Let all them criminals be free. That's Jake. That's our people. That's how you know the book is for the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Who are the people locked up in prison housing? That's us, man. And it says they are for a prey, and none say delivereth. Then, hey, that's for a prey. For when you go in that courthouse, man, they prey on you, man. Prey, not Pray. You know, they are predators amongst our people, man. They lock us up and throw away the key. And the people and the public uses the media like, hey, we got some type of solace. Those devils, those monsters, they got locked away. Good riddance. Lock them away and keep them away. Keep those nigger monkeys out of our civilizations and out of our neighborhoods. That's what they think, man. You know, but Yahweh Shai is going to use this. Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Christ, he's going to come back and destroy this place, man. He's going to destroy the so-called white man and his wicked way. And it ain't going to be no separate room interrogation for y'all, man. It's going to be straight down judgment because the Lord already knows what you've done. And the prophets are the one uplifting this banner right now, man. And we're right now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're separating Israel from the rest of the world, the 1/3 from the rest of the world, man. All right. So we can find out the truth. All right. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect. Shalom.